Hello, this is the video for Tuesday, October the 5th, and if you're watching this video, it's because you couldn't be with us today. So I'm going to explain what we did in class and walk you through this assignment that is rather big. It's our first major assessment. It is going to be due on Friday, though if you're watching this video, it won't be due for you until Tuesday of next week. So here's our Schoology page. As always, I'm bringing you to our agenda where everything is linked. And you can see here there are a couple of new assignments that are in Schoology. There's no STEM because instead of using the big Google Doc, you'll be submitting a piece of work to me. So the first one is planning document for essay. That's what we do in class today. And the second is called the unit assessment. And this is just the explanation. So you don't actually complete anything there. It's just me guiding you through what it is that we're about to do. All right, so in class today, the very first thing we did was a retrospective. It was leaving the story, What You Pawn, I Will Redeem. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, we made a big chart for our other two stories. And so today in class, we made yet another chart, but this time for What You Pawn, I Will Redeem. So your classmates got their notebooks out, and we flipped to a new page where we wrote out the words setting vocab, main idea, theme, and journeys. We did this once before. If you're watching this video, I'd like you to do it on loose leaf or in a notebook. It can be so helpful to handwrite your initial thoughts. It's a way that we process things. So get out a piece of paper or your notebook ideally and finish this chart on your own. I'm going to show you on the screen, though, what it will look like because you wouldn't be able to see this. So it's going to look like this. Setting vocab, main idea, theme, and journeys. We worked through this pretty quick, just about 10 minutes, jotting down our initial thoughts because this is all planning or thinking informally. The setting and the vocab of the story, the What You Pawn, I Will Redeem story, ideas that you might come up with. I'll give you a few here, but you can fill it with whatever you like. The Spokane tribe is where Jackson Jackson is from. That's who he is. So we mentioned the word Spokane. We looked at words like Seattle. It's a major city where he lives. The main idea of the story seems to be, again, you'll modify this on your own. You'll come up with your own idea about the main idea of the story. But it's something about how there are so many good people in the world and that everyone helps JJ get his regalia. There's lots of other ideas there, but those are some that come to mind. The theme seems to be about generosity, themes of a quest or a hero, because that's what he's going off to try to do. Other themes could include homelessness and hope, the way that he is homeless, but he has so much good-spiritedness about himself. So lots of ideas here. There are not wrong ones. I'm just giving you some thoughts. And then journeys. What are journeys that happen in the story? So the quest to get the regalia is a kind of journey. So that's one possible answer. Other journeys, just his wandering around the city, the way that he doesn't seem to have a destination. So fill out your own chart. Use my ideas for inspiration. When you come to class, we'll of course have copies of the notes that classmates took. And then I explain the essay. So here is a brief presentation on how to write this essay. I'm going to go through the instructions. You can read all of this in one place by going to the document unit assessment, how to write your 5-paragraph essay, or you can click on these slides. This is everything you need to know for how to write your essay for Friday/Tuesday. So here is your prompt. The prompt is, America is a story of journeys. The story of American Indians traced narratives of journeys and movement. So consider this argument and apply that concept to each of the short stories we read in this unit. Take notes with your class on the stories and your ideas. That's what we've been doing for like a month. The task now, write 3 paragraphs, one for each story, on how America is about journeys in that story. And then write an intro and a conclusion. That's the gist of it. In more detail, I've already given you the thesis. You'll write this sentence at the very end of your introduction. The Native American short stories, The Man Descend Rain Clouds, Lullaby, and What Yupane Will Redeem, reflect that America is a story of journeys. Generate now a claim paragraph for each of those stories. In each paragraph, explain how the story reflects a journey. So there are going to be 3 body paragraphs, 1 for each story. I'd recommend you use the order we read them in, but you can mix that up if you like. This is the order, though, that they default to. The third thing we ask you to do is use evidence. Don't just tell me you're thinking. Always root your thinking in the text. So pull quotes from the text into your paragraph so that you can show me how the story uses this idea of journeys. And then lastly, write an introduction and conclusion for your essay that explains how you see the idea of journeys taking shape in the unit. All right, so that is the very complex multi-step task before you for the next 3 days of class. We are practicing today by writing claim paragraphs. So we're going to use the last story we read, What Yupane Will Redeem, and we are going to, together, think about the journeys that we've just established, and then we're going to write a claim sentence together and use 2 examples that we find independently. So here's what that looks like in Schoology. There is already a planning document assigned to you. Open it up, fill it out. That's what we use to build the claim paragraphs. You're going to first fill out the planning document, and then using the planning document, you'll write a paragraph for each story. And then, you can see here what this looks like on our agenda. Thursday, we will support you as you write your paragraphs, as you translate your planning document to paragraphs. Friday, we will teach you how to write an intro and a conclusion, and that will be all the steps you need. So the planning document is really the inspiration for the rest of class, and I'll open that up now to show you what it looks like. All right, so you've got this document. This is what's due by the end of class, or really by the beginning of class on Thursday. If you're watching this video and you're trying to fill this out independently, you might need more time, and that's okay. The goal is to fill this out as your first benchmark to show that you're on track to write your essay. What you do is start with What Yupane Will Redeem. That's what we're doing in class. And we start by generating a claim. What do we believe about journeys? And then we go through and we find 2 quotes and a paraphrase. All right, so I'm going to start a little bit of this in front of you now. The claim I'm going to make, you can make any claim, but this is my model claim, is Jackson Jackson reveals that the world is one big journey through paths of fellowship and generosity, and that there is no concrete destination. That's my claim. So Jackson Jackson doesn't really see life as a point A to point B success story. He wanders around, but it's a journey nonetheless. It's a journey about building friends and fellowship. I'm going to go through and I'm going to find quotes that illustrate that. First thing that comes to mind to me is when the very first time he gives away money. And so go to the story. So that's here. 1 p.m., he's just gotten his first $5 from the pawnbroker to begin his journey to go claim back the regalia. And what does he do with it? Well, they carry it over, or sorry, not $5, $20, over to the 7-Eleven and they buy alcohol. I'm pasting that quote. I'm not copying it. I'm going to literally copy paste it. It's not cheating. I'm citing it. This is where I got it. So I'm going to say, quote, 1 p.m. And now I have to explain it. Immediately, Jackson Jackson receives $20 from the pawnbroker, but does not see it as payment towards his grandma's regalia. Instead, he sees it as payment for him to enjoy company with his friends. All right. And then I do that again. And then I do it again. The third time, paraphrase just means you can write about something that happened without quoting it directly. So today, this is your job. Pre-write, plan, find quotes, think about journeys, and begin shaping out what will be the ideas of your essay, which we'll dive into on Thursday. It's a lot. Let us know if you have any struggles with this, or if you fill this out on your own as you fill it out, if you need some support.